Welcome to a new session. In this session, we're going to continue learning about the parallelogram and its properties. Let's start by knowing the cases in which the quadrilateral is a parallelogram. We can say that the shape is a parallelogram if one of the following exists. If two opposite sides are parallel, such that AD parallel to BC and AB parallel to CD, or two opposite sides are equal in length, such that AD is equal to BC and AB is equal to CD. Or, if two opposite angles are equal in measure, the measure of angle A is equal to the measure of angle C, the measure of angle B is equal to the measure of angle D, and the fourth one, if the two diagonals bisect each other, like M is the midpoint of DB and AC. If the quadrilateral has two opposite sides are parallel and also equal in length, then automatically it is a parallelogram. If AD is parallel to BC, where AD is equal to CB, then ABCD is a parallelogram. Let's go to exercise number 1. If AB is parallel to CD and the measure of angle AMB is 80 degrees and DAM is 30 degrees and MBC as an angle is 50 degrees, the question wants me to prove that ABCD is a parallelogram. Since AB is parallel to CD, and also since the measure of angle ACB is equal to 80 minus 50, which is equal to 30, because angle AMB is an exterior angle of triangle CMB, therefore the measure of angle ACB is equal to the measure of angle DAC is equal to 30 degrees. Because they're alternate interior angles. Therefore, AD is parallel to CB, so now ABCD is a parallelogram. Exercise number 2. In the opposite figure, if the measure of angle XYA is equal to the measure of angle X is equal to the measure of angle Y, the question wants me to prove that XYZL is a parallelogram. Since the measure of angle Z is equal to the measure of angle XYA as corresponding angles, then LZ is parallel to XY. Since the measure of angle x is equal to the measure of angle XYA, alternate angles. Therefore, LX is parallel to ZY. If we call this number 1 and we call this number 2, we can easily now say from 1 and 2, XYZL is a parallelogram. Exercise number 3. ABCD is a parallelogram where H is the midpoint of AB and O is the midpoint of DC. The question wants us to prove that HBOD is a parallelogram. Since ABCD is a parallelogram, therefore AB segment is parallel to CD segment. Therefore, HB segment is parallel to OD segment. Let's call this number 1. Since AB is equal to CD, therefore half AB is equal to half CD, therefore HB is equal to OD. Let's call this number 2. From 1 and 2, we can say that ABCD is a parallelogram, and this is what the question wants me to prove. Let's now go to the evaluation part. Dear students, as I always remind you, when you see the question, pause the video, try to answer the question yourself, and then play the video to check your answer. In the opposite figure, E belongs to BC, where the measure of angle of BAE is 45 degrees, and the measure of angle AEB is 70 degrees, and the measure of angle D is 65 degrees. And also the measure of angle C is 115 degrees. The question wants me to prove that ABCD is a parallelogram. In triangle AEB, the measure of angle B is 180 minus the sum of 45 and 70, which is 65 degrees. As we can see here, since the measure of angle B is equal to the measure of angle D, which is 65 degrees, then angle B is congruent to angle D, and these two angles are opposite angles in this figure. And since the measure of angle D plus the measure of angle C, which is 65 plus 115, is 180 degrees, then ABCD is a parallelogram, and this is what the question wants me to prove. By proving that ABCD is a parallelogram, we came to the end of our session. Thank you very much and wishing you best of luck.